Hello and welcome to Learn a Trade. Today I'm going to be working on a FBD 4-barrel. This unit has an issue where it keeps blowing the transformer fuse. This is the transformer. It's in the lower section of the unit, and what's happening is there's two fuses set up for the transformer. This is the main fuse right here, and then there's another fuse for the transformer on the lower board, and that's right here, and that one also keeps blowing. Right now I've replaced the fuse. The fuse has been replaced at an earlier point, but it does keep blowing this fuse, or it'll blow this fuse. So there's obviously something going on in the transformer circuit, and it's causing it to blow the fuses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this transformer, and then I'm going to replace this lower board also, and then we're going to see from there what we get. So right now I'm just removing the lower transformer. Just gonna pull it out. Give me some space to work in to get that lower board out. So now I got the transformer out, and I'm gonna go ahead and remove the board. It has two screws, one up top and one on the bottom, that have to be removed, and then I'll remove all of the wiring, and then rewire this new board in there. Okay, so right now I have the new board installed. I've reconnected all of my connections. Just to let you know, on these wiring connections, because I know it looks like it's a lot of wiring in here, but on these wiring connections, each wire has a label on it, and it should match up with the number of the terminals on the board. So let me just grab this, see if you can see that. It's not really easy to see, but each terminal has a number on it, and what you do is you want to make sure that you have the right label, the right wire that's labeled for the correct terminal. So you'll just match those up with that, because I know it does look like there's a lot of wiring, but they are all labeled, and I have both sides labeled. because there is wiring that comes from this transformer and goes to this lower board, and then there's wiring that goes to this lower board right here. So each board controls a certain barrel on the Slurpee machine. And I have the large fuse installed, the main fuse for the transformer installed also. It goes right in this fuse holder right here. And now I'm just gonna see if I can get power to it and see how it's working. Okay, everybody, I just discovered something here, and this is probably the reason why the fuses were blowing on that lower board. So I just wanted to show this to you, just so you can kind of know what I'm looking at too. But these wires here, the red stripe wire and the green stripe wire, the motor mounts right up against here, and it seems that when they replaced this motor a few days ago, they got the motor in, and then the wire got smashed in between the motor and the bracket here. So as you can see, it's cut. The insulation got cut, and the motor was touching against the metal on both sides pretty much. So I'm gonna repair these wires right here, but I just wanted you to see that, and see that, you know, that's more than likely that's the reason why the fuses were blowing on the lower board and the transformer, because these wires do go to the lower board on the 24-volt side, and they were right up against the metal of the bracket, the beater motor bracket and the beater motor. They were smashed in between there, so they were like it was like a direct short to ground, and that'll cause it every time. So I just wanted to show you that. I'm gonna fix this up, get the motor put in, and then we should be able to get this unit started up for them. Okay, so now I have the motor back in place. I've squared away the cut wires, the damaged wires, and then I wire tied them up top so that they're out of the way of that motor. So now I'm going to go ahead and reconnect everything, and then see what we get. Okay, I have the faceplate back on. I also installed the rear seal on this barrel, and put the beater motor back in place, and then put the faceplate back on. So now I'm gonna go and turn this unit back on and see what we get. Okay, so I have the unit running now. It is back operational without any fuses being blown. So I'm just letting the barrels freeze down right now. But I did notice that there's another issue up here. We have an inlet temperature error on the third barrel right here. So I'm gonna have to replace the temp sensor, the inlet temp sensor, which is right here. And usually these wires are wire tied up against this line right here, and you can usually see they do label the lines pretty good. So this one here is the inlet line for barrel number 3. So I'm going to go ahead and get another return temp sensor. I'm sorry, inlet temp sensor, and then I'll replace that. That's going right over here. The bulb is right in here, so I'll have to cut the insulation a little, and then get to the bulb, the temp sensor, and pull it off and put the new one on, and then I'll retape it and get that all set up. So as you can see, there were a few issues going on with this unit, but we're getting there little by little. Okay, now I have my inlet temp sensor back in place, the new one. And then as you can see here, temperature's down. It was at 97, and that's what usually happens on these temp sensors, on the return temp sensor and your inlet temp sensor. If they go bad, they usually read 97 degrees on them, and that's usually a sign that you have a bad temp sensor. So that one's replaced, and the barrels are freezing down nicely now. So I'm gonna go ahead and let those finish up, and then we should be good to go. Okay, now all the barrels are all set to go. Everything's frozen down properly, and we're all set. So I'm gonna close this out for now, and thank you guys for watching, and thank you for your support, and we'll see you on the next job. Take care. God bless.